Hi, thanks for joining me. We're going to be making my Valentine's Day truffles because it's already February and Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Now, if you're anything like me and you like arts and crafts projects, yes, I'm a bit of a nerd, I made my own box. I bought the box, just a plain white box from Michael's. Any arts and crafts shop would probably have them. It was only $2.99 and I just bought the rest of the stuff and made my box. So it's ready to put the truffles in once they're ready. Before we get cracking on making them, I'm going to give you a quick run through on how to make the box.
This is everything you're going to need to make the box. Cut the glittery card to the size of the top of the box and stick it on. Take the self-adhesive hearts out of the bag ready and just start sticking them on wherever you want them. Now cut the stem of the rose to size and stick it on with super glue. And that's the top of your box done. Get your doily out the bag, you're only going to need one. Into the box and we're done with the arts and crafts portion. Now let's get making truffles.
Here's everything you're going to need to make your chocolates. We need coconut milk, vanilla powder, we need dark chocolate, plus more dark chocolate for melting and dipping, macadamia nuts, organic freeze-dried raspberries, a heart-shaped chocolate mold, and something to present them in. The first thing we have to do to make the truffles is possibly the most fun bit of all for me anyway. And if you have any frustration or you're having a bad day, this is perfect because you need a bloody great big mallet or something heavy and you're going to smash your chocolate. Now you need 9 ounces of dark chocolate. These are 3.5 each, so I've measured out another 2 ounces and we've got our 9 and we're ready to start smashing. Okay, ready? Basically, you're going to do this until it's pretty much little pieces because it's much easier when the hot milk is poured over it. When I open these, they should be teeny tiny pieces, and if they're not, then we'll give it another whack. But basically, we're going to put them in our bowl now and heat up the milk. Let's see how small they are. Pretty good, actually. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Oh, this is getting exciting. So guys, you can see that my chocolate is really pretty well smashed up, which is exactly what I wanted because you need it to melt nicely and smoothly once you pour the hot milk on it. So you're going to want to put a generous 1/3 of a cup of coconut milk into your pan and heat it to really, really hot, but just before boiling. So let's measure out that generous 1/3 of a cup. Into the pan and we're ready to heat it. So the coconut milk is in the pan and we're just going to wait until that's nice and hot and then pour it over the chocolate. Have a clean tea towel ready for the next stage. Keep stirring. Okay, the milk's ready. We're going to pour it over the chocolate and give it a mix and then very quickly cover it up for 5 minutes with the tea towel. Try and get it as melted and mixed together as you can, but very, very, very quickly because we want to cover it while it's still steaming. Okay, tea towel at the ready and leave that for 5 minutes. So while we're waiting on the chocolate melting into the hot milk, we're going to put 1 macadamia nut into each of the heart-shaped holes. And the last one in. So we're ready for the chocolate. We have another 3 minutes to go, and this is getting really exciting. So don't panic if your chocolate is not all completely melted. If you have a microwave, pop it in there for 5 to 10 second increments. Take it out each time, give it a stir, and make sure that it's all completely melted. If you don't have a microwave, use the steam method with a pan of water underneath it, and just until it's all melted. Oh, get a load of that. It's so shiny and smooth. That took an extra 35 seconds in my microwave, just to let you know. And now we're going to put in the vanilla. This pure vanilla powder is just the best. It comes straight from the pod, and we only need 1/4 teaspoon of this. If you're using vanilla extract, use 1/2 teaspoon, or more if you want. So 1/4 teaspoon of my vanilla powder, and give that a very quick mix around because we want to get it into the mold as quickly as we can now. It looks gorgeous. Okay, ready to put it into the mold. Just spoon it in. It doesn't matter if it's kind of messy because it's going to set anyway, so we're good with that. And also, some of these are going to get dipped. As you can see, it looks kind of messy and not very heart-shaped right now. That's okay, because when they come out all set, we're going to neaten them off. That was a quick 3 hours. Now they're perfectly solid. We're going to pop them out of the mold, put them on the cutting board, stick them back in the fridge while we melt our chocolate for dipping. Look at that, perfect. Okay, so that's all of our heart-shaped truffles. We're going to neaten them up before we dip them, but we have a little bit of leftover truffle mix here, so we're just going to turn those into balls and do the same thing with them. So here we go. Just mess with it in your hand until it's more pliable, and then just roll it into a ball. And there we are. Okay, scoop up the last of your chocolate now and make your last ball. These ones are going to be plain, they're not going to have a nut in them. And give them a little roll. Perfect. Give them all one final roll. And these we're not going to dip, we're just going to coat with the crushed freeze-dried raspberries. But we'll do that in a little bit. So our leftover truffle mix made 5 truffle bowls, so we're going to use 5 of these little heart-shaped paper cup things. And we'll get those done and into the box, and then we'll concentrate on the hearts. Take a handful of your freeze-dried raspberries, and you can crush them in your hand. They're so easy to manipulate that way. And just put it down on your cutting board. Make a little powder of it, if you will. And then we're going to just roll these beautiful truffles and you're going to end up with a gorgeous looking truffle, and pop that into your paper cup. And there we have one perfect truffle. Another great way to powder your freeze-dried raspberries is with the back of a spoon. And we keep going until we've done all of those and got them all into the paper cups. There, how fantastic does that look? So this is the last one, and I'm just finishing it off, rolling it around until it's completely covered with the freeze-dried raspberry. I'm going to pop it into its little nest there, and there we are. I know I said there were 5, there are actually 6. Okay, so we've got our box ready, and we're going to pop the raspberry chocolate truffle balls in there, and then we're going to put the heart chocolate truffles in the center once they're ready. It's looking great though, isn't it? Doesn't that look absolutely mouth-wateringly fantastic? If you can get your hands on these melting wafers, they look like kind of little chocolate discs, and we're going to use those to melt to get our melted chocolate so that we can dip the hearts in them. And how we're going to melt these, because they melt really quickly and simply, is we're going to put them on top of a pan of boiling water so that we can stir them, and as soon as it's ready, we get dipping. At this point, have a plate ready lined with some parchment paper so that you can put your dipped truffles onto them and then straight into the fridge to set for about 15 minutes. The chocolate discs are melting already, and as soon as they're melted, we're going straight in with the dipped truffles. Keep stirring, and any second now we'll be ready to start dipping. Okay, we're seconds away.
Drop your first truffle into the chocolate and stir it around to coat it properly. Give it a good coating. That's right, all the way around, and then remove it with a fork gently, and well, we're almost there. Tap, tap, tap on your wrist gently to remove any excess chocolate, and then put it onto your parchment paper and let it set. Onto your next one. Keep doing that until you've finished them all. For your last one.
Okay, I'm going in for the close-up here of these gorgeous chocolates because I want you to see the vibrant, fabulous colour of the raspberries on the chocolate. I don't think there's a better combination anyway than raspberries and chocolate, and they taste every bit as good as they look. So I kept some for myself, obviously. They're going to be eaten with a cup of tea very, very soon. And there's nothing really left to do except put the lid on the box and give them to somebody you really love, somebody you really like, somebody who's helped you out throughout the year, or give them to yourself. Okay, that was great fun. I really enjoyed doing the Arts and Crafts project with you and showing you how to make my Valentine's Day truffles. And if you're sharing them with somebody, I hope you both enjoy them. If you're keeping them to yourself, I know you're enjoying them. And have a happy Valentine's Day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
If you like this video, click like. If you really like it, click subscribe.